Back, and it's time for us to get down to the newspapers, see what is being reported on the dailies. And this is the newspaper review segment. Karibuni tena sana.
All right, we can start it off with a look at what is being reported in the Daily Nation. And it's yet again mandugu zetu kutoka Tanzania. They are taking a very hard stance on anything that is Kenyan. And so the headline, Tanzania jobs ban hits Kenyans hard.
Wow.
So apparently, critics say Dodoma's policy runs counter to provisions of East African Community Treaty. So they're saying that Dodoma's move to bar foreigners from select businesses in the country will affect thousands of Kenyans, with the Suluhu regime sanction infuriating local traders and MPs who have asked Nairobi to impose retaliatory measures. It's a story that is on page 4, and some of the business activities that are now prohibited for non-citizens in Tanzania. So if you're a Kenyan and you're going to Tanzania and maybe you want to open a shop, this is a repair of mobile phones and electronic devices. You have been banned. So this now is prohibited for non-citizens. Repair of mobile phones and electronic devices. Salon business, unless it is conducted in a hotel or for tourism purposes. Tour guiding within the country. You see foreigners, you near Tanzanians alone. Brokerage or agency in businesses and real estate. And ownership and operation of micro and small enterprises. So that is what the Samia Suluhu regime has decided to impose on not just Kenyans but also on other foreigners. It's a story that you can get and read on page number 4. And still on the front page, a very beautiful photo here of a mother and a son. This is an emotional return for the man spared execution in Saudi Arabia. And it's a beautiful picture here as Stephen Bertrand Munyako embraces his mother Dorothy Kweyu upon his arrival at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport early yesterday. And Munyako said that my presence here today is nothing short of a miracle. It is wonderful to be back home, but please allow me some time to rest before I can speak further. So after 14 years, 14 of being locked up, not just in any other prison, in a foreign prison, because it was 14 years of being locked up in a Saudi Arabian prison. And with a long stretch of that time spent on death row. Stephen Munyako, who is popularly known as Steve-O, is finally back on Kenyan soil. Steve-O's return early yesterday marked the end of a harrowing journey and the beginning of an emotional reunion with a family that never stopped fighting for his freedom. 14 years later, he has now been able to, reconnect and reunite with his family. That's a story of hope that you can read on page number 3. Some other stories that you can get inside the Daily Nation. Mishra is now fighting off organs trafficking charges. Medihill Hospital owner Swarup Mishra says he is a victim of Kenya's lack of a legal framework for organ donation as he rejects claims his facility paid kidney donors. It's on page 2. And then learners will have a longer holiday after schools shut down a week earlier, with teachers citing shortage of funds from the government. And so cash crunch forcing public schools to close early. And then Uhuru Raila plots political survival ahead of 2027 polls. Realignments arising from new political order send scions of prominent political families back to the drawing board. It's a story that is covered on page number 7. Then Ndende Nyoro is out. That is Kenya Kwanza ejects MP from influential budget committee. To some sports news, where Agnes Tirop murder case postponed for 5th time over missing suspect. That is covered on the sports section. And then the Harambee Stars, remember, we are counting days now to the start of the CHAN 2024 tournament in Nairobi and also in Tanzania. And for the nation, they are the goal getters. They're giving us a breakdown of Harambee Stars' firepower at CHAN 2024 and who will be getting the goals for the national soccer team Harambee Stars. And then how Morocco is using football for soft power diplomacy in Africa. And of course, they are already in Nairobi, that is Morocco, for the tournament ahead of their opening encounter this coming weekend. So those are some of the stories that are being covered inside the Daily Nation.
All right, and coming down to the Standard newspaper, I've seen a very interesting board here. Someone is holding Baridi ipewe hardship allowance. Baridi itapewaje hardship allowance? Anyway, I'm seeing Parliament has given 3 government agencies a month to prepare a report on the criteria used to allocate hardship allowances. So that was just a board that is agreeing with what the Parliament is planning. But anyway, coming down to the highlights of what is on the Standard, the top story here is mortgaging Kenyans as President William Ruto's government rolls out a controversial securitization model to fast-track infrastructure. Experts warn it is a financial time bomb, borrowing against the future taxes, bypassing Parliament and risking constitutional breach. Critics call it recklessness, opaque and tantamount to mortgaging Kenya's future for short-term political optics. This is economic sabotage, says one former Treasury insider. You don't tax citizens today just to gamble with their tomorrow. Experts are wondering in whose interest are government officials deploying these schemes. And just to look at the stark numbers here, 11.5 trillion being the Kenya's public debt, which has surged to 11.5 trillion. That is 67% of GDP, breaching legal thresholds and drawing sharp criticism over the government's aggressive use of debt securitization to raise funds. 175 billion shillings is a plan such as that fuel levy bond and 44.7 billion shillings stadium bond have sparked concerns that the government is bypassing constitutional safeguards. So yani ni ile tumeomba mpaka tumefika kilele to a point that is considered unwarranted. It should not be that much of a debt. 67% of the GDP. That's definitely a big amount. More stories. I see teachers to face murder charge after boy 14 only years old was killed and hanged in cover-up. Oh my goodness. Two teachers are now facing criminal charges after a Kericho court ruled they staged a suicide to cover up the savage beating of Enoch Kipkoech. The Standard 8 pupil was found hanging in a school bathroom. This is the height of ruthlessness. You know, being beaten to death, and then, as if that's not enough, to have a staged hanging so that it looks like the boy committed suicide. That's what we see in the movies. Like, you cannot even begin to think that that's the kind of evil happening in our schools and by teachers.
Unfortunate.
14 years.
Yeah.
Looks like a happy boy. It's so sad. May God comfort their families, because I can only imagine the pain and what they're going through. And this school should be exposed also, so that parents are careful Kanja power cut in police base shocker. This is a story covered on page 9, and also the Enterprise pullout as well. So that is what is being reported on the Standard. And maybe just looking at one more story here. I'm seeing Kenyans have expressed fury after the local organizing committee, LOC, for the upcoming African Nations Championships, Chan, what you've mentioned, announced a controversial list of banned items, including fan favorite instruments like vuvuzelas, whistles, and drums. Without this, do we have expectation, really?
I saw that, and actually that conversation, especially amongst the football fans, journalists included, was very, very emotive, because which I agreed with. How do you ban vuvuzelas? And especially for African football, we are known because of either vuvuzelas, the drums,
whistles.
like now the DRC fans, the DR Congo, they are known because of their music, their culture and all. Kenyans, isukuti, and all those things. Then you are banning such things. So you want us to just go chill, fold our arms, and then no cheering and everything. That is part and parcel of
the game.
If you want us then to do that, it's better for me then to watch on my TV set, because it's all about the thrill
of being there,
the environment, that energy that is emanating from the stands. So if you are banning such things, I don't know what you are thinking of, but some of these bans, they are just some of these decisions, and the people who make these decisions, at times you wonder, what are they really thinking about? But so long as they are not used as weapons and all,
I mean,
allow people to go and have fun.
And imagine how many hawkers you are stripping off an income. Right now they are buying them because they know this is the season.
They are capitalizing on this tournament.
So now more unemployment. More situations where and the Gen Zs ndio wanajanga huko na hizo wanaziuza, they get something, they get some food. So it really
I hope before the tournament kicks off over the weekend we will have a reverse or even a clarity maybe on why. I feel of why and how the same should be implemented.
It's definitely terrible.
Business Daily, they say banks to lend at same loan base rate in CBK's U-turn. Lenders to use their own benchmark for costing loans. Kenya reverts to a unified lending reference rate. And I also see a story we highlighted in The Nation. Kenya leaders protest as Tanzania bans foreign businesses. And then this is a very interesting one, and we keep highlighting such on financial fitness every Monday. Why Kenyans still favor investing in SACCOs and banks. So familiarity has seen Kenyans continue to favor investing through traditional vehicles such as SACCOs and commercial banks. That's according to a new survey. And we will see how that one unfolds. And the KRA recovered 86.52 billion from resolution of tax disputes with companies and individuals last financial year ended June 2025, the agency announced yesterday. And then Derito Murithi here says, the reality is that if the environment is not attractive for local investors, the foreign ones will not come either. Derito Murithi is the chairman of the KRA board, and it's a story that is on page number 9. That is what is being reported inside the Business Daily. And of course, you can grab your favorite copy, get to read what is being reported. And of course, as believers, we can also get prayer items to pray for our nation.
Absolutely beautiful. All right. I think right now we can have a look at the video of the day, see what it is telling us today. We'll come back and talk about it.